Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another segment of the Totem podcast that we have now. Like always, of course, we got Erick in the house.
How's it going? This is a new little segment we're gonna try and bring on more often for you people.
What do you tell us, Erick? What is this segment? What is it going to be more of?
It's gonna be just a little bit more of just news and stuff going on now. Just more recent stuff, everything going on, just more related to our lives, you know. And then we're gonna try and do it more often. Like I said, maybe once a week, you know, so we can get you guys more informed.
Just the bullshit going on around, stuff like that. Remember, like, share, subscribe. If it brings you value, share it with someone. Just pass on the word, you know, get it more out there for people to get informed of what's actually going on in the world and stuff.
Yeah.
So remember, Erick, so what'd you do this weekend? Where were you at this weekend?
Had a blast this weekend. It was an awesome night. Saturday night we went to see the homie Joe Rogan up in Denver at the Belco Theater.
He came to fucking visit us here in Denver.
Yeah. Him, Tony Hinchcliffe, and
Duncan Trussell
and
Hans.
Yeah.
No, it was a blast. It's good. You were able to see a lot of people it's not for everybody. If you guys don't listen to stand-up comedy, it's probably not for everybody. There's a lot of people that get offended. A lot of people get up and walk out. It's probably the best part of the fucking show.
That makes it even funnier.
Makes it even fucking funnier when they say something and the people just start getting up. Hey, babe, you ready to go home? You know, that's the best part.
And a lot of people, they just hear Joe Rogan and then they just like, oh, the guy on the podcast who just talks shit about everything.
The guy with ivermectin.
The horse dewormer shit.
The fucking CNN. But they don't know it's like a whole...
They don't know he's a fucking comedian and his shit's fucking hilarious.
It's fucking funny. You need to check it out. Yeah, but it was good. We're out there this weekend. He had a couple shows going on, but yeah, we were over there. Had a couple, just went out, just enjoyed the day. It was packed, fucking packed. Huh?
Yeah.
How fun was it trying to get out of there, Erick?
It was a nightmare trying to get out. But like as we were walking in, I was actually kind of surprised, just like because we were driving by the place before we like went to go get parking, and just like to see all the different types of people that were walking into the show. Like someone might just expect like, oh, this guy is like just talk shit, so there's only gonna be like this certain type of like people going to the shows and all that stuff. But no, it's like people from like all walks of life that go show up and agree with like the shit he's saying. Maybe not like on the podcast or whatever, but like they're going to have like a good time. Yeah, they have the ability to just set that stuff, like politics and stuff aside, and then go in and
have a drink and have a good time. There was Asian people, there's white, black, Mexican, like there was pretty much everything, and then all ages also. So there was young people,
there's old people,
there's people dressed straight up like
they just woke up.
Other people dressed in a suit jacket. Like there was just everything. And then that's what's good. It's just like, I feel like Rogan, he connects with like every type of people, every type of person. You can go from like people that don't have the financial means maybe to the other people, but I mean it was just great. It was a good time.
Like people showing up to a comedy show, you have to know the comedians are gonna talk shit.
You got to put your fucking guard down because they're gonna talk shit. And and then like when the people that are just like, oh, they get offended, like that's gasoline for them. That's what that's what they want. They just like, I mean, they want you to have a good time, but I mean,
if they're talking shit and the jacket fits, then fucking wear that motherfucker.
Put that slip right into that bitch. One size fits most.
Yeah, but it's interesting to just see how I guess easy people can get offended nowadays. I feel like people nowadays they just get like the most simple shit they get offended by, and like people like even like a couple years ago or just back then had like thicker skin. They could handle more stuff and not be easily offended by like simple stuff. Like you obviously know he's making a joke, like don't take it up the ass. But then there's people like, oh no, like, fuck you.
Yeah, they get all fucking butthurt, and that's the funniest thing when they get up. You're just sitting there, because we're sitting there. There's some people. I heard a lady, a guy and a girl right behind. Like, I don't think it was like directly behind us, but I could hear it. They're like halfway through Rogan. They're like, "Hey babe, so you ready to head out?" And I was just like, "Fuck yes." That's funny.
You didn't even have to like turn around, but you knew that, like, oh, all right,
it's one of them.
It's one of them.
It's one of them. God damn it.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a good time. If you've never been to just a comedy show, but especially Rogan, I mean, you gotta check it out. Tony destroyed also.
One of the things Tony said is, I think it was at the beginning of his set. He was like, "All right, Denver, let's see how woke you are now." Kind of like talking shit, like, because Denver is now like woke or whatever, you know. They're known for the wokeness, and he's like, "All right, guys, like,
yeah, they're here.
See where you're at."
And he's just like, "Yeah, they're kind of here."
Yeah,
just talking shit, but I mean, I like it. He's wearing the fucking rocking the cowboy hat. He moved to Austin. He's a cowboy now.
The whole cowboy setup: boots, jeans, cowboy shirt tucked in, cowboy hat, everything.
Yeah, no, that's good. So another topic, kind of switching topics a little bit. It's May, beginning of May, first week of May. We all know what comes in May. It's graduations. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts, Erick? Graduation. Everyone's happy. Party. New chapter of their life.
Yeah. Well, it's not just everybody just thinks it's like high school graduations, but it's also college graduations. So I mean, graduation. I mean, for me, it was a fun time. High school and college. College. I mean, I had not that good of an experience. Just because it was an online virtual graduation.
Walking down the hallway in the house.
Shit. Yeah. But I don't know. It's kind of a double-edged sword, I feel, because like, for example, like high school graduation is like your whole life. You're like in this like you're in like the school system, going through it. You have like your parents that are helping you out, and then when you graduate, people expect you to have your life figured out,
shit together, like
what you want to do with your life, where you want to go. Like a lot of people are still like pushing their kids to like go to college. Like they're like, where are you gonna go to college? What are you gonna study and all this stuff? And it's a lot of pressure for a lot of kids nowadays, because they're just they feel like they have to meet these expectations that aren't really there, or expectations that their parents set for them, or that they think they want for themselves. So it's like a lot of pressure for them to like feel like they need to be ready.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of both. Like, yeah, the social media are like, oh yeah, I need to say I'm going to engineering school, or need to say I'm going to nursing school, like whatever it is, just so it
sounds good.
Sounds good. It looks good on paper, but it's not something you really want to do. Or also the parents kind of like I feel like maybe putting their insecurities on their kids, and now they're like, shit, I didn't go to college. You got to go to college. The kid's like, well, I don't want to go to college. You got to go because I couldn't go, or because I don't want you to do this. And it's hard because I think it's just really, really hard, because somebody that are say they're getting out of high school, they're 18, they're like, now you gotta know what you want to do for the next 60 years. You know, just a number. 60 years, like, you're 18, you don't even know. People that are 40 sometimes don't even know what they want. They're 50, they don't even know what they want.
That's what you know now, though. But like when you're 18, I bet you felt like me, probably like you thought you were the shit. You had fucking life figured out. Like, I'm gonna do this. Shit. Like I'm set. Like,
yeah, everybody thinks they're the shit till they get their shit kicked in.
Yeah, and then now, like, actually, like, being a few years removed, looking back, like 18, graduating from high school, I didn't know shit. Like, I got a long ways to go to have like shit figured out.
Yeah, and then I think so. That's like kind of on the high school, but then the college, I think it's good. Like, if you're happy and everything, some of them, yes, they do have jobs lined up. But everybody goes to college, I think, expecting that they're just going to have their dream job. They're going to go out, they're going to have this and that, and it doesn't necessarily go that way.
Yeah.
Most of the college, I don't know, the exact number, a lot of the college students that graduate from college don't end up working in the field that they studied in because they can't find a job because it's not that easy.
Or they don't, like, not even that, but they don't even have like a job lined up for once they graduate. So they're like a couple months removed from college and they're still struggling to find a job. And
then the thing is that then if they got college debt, you know, so it's like you got to start paying them right away. So, and then it's like, what do you do? Like, you got to start paying right away. You can't find a job. So it's like, fuck it. This is the first job I get. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
And then 20 years later, you're still there. Still paying the college off.
Still paying the college off. Still paying this education off that you didn't even end up using because you had to go get a different job because they were already starting to charge you for what you were trying to go for originally. It's like a big cycle that really doesn't make sense to me.
And it's like college, my point of view, I think college isn't, I don't think it's for everybody.
No.
If you want to learn different stuff, there's different ways of learning now. There's a lot of stuff on the internet. You can read a lot of books. There's different ways of learning. It's not like you didn't go to college and you don't know anything no more. Or the other problem, you go to college and you think you fucking know everything.
Yeah.
And you don't.
That might be even worse.
That's probably worse because you think you're the hot shit till again it comes around and 20 years later you get your shit kicked around, you know.
And then for people coming out of like high school too, they have like with graduation, depending on what they want to do, like if they want to go off to school or go get a job or whatever, they still feel like they have all this freedom now. So like, oh, I don't need to listen to these people because I don't need to listen to my parents anymore because I'm graduated, I'm grown, I'm free, I can do what I want. And then it just sends them in a downward spiral. Could be.
It could be kind of how what they're growing up to. That maybe their parents or whatever, it was a hostile environment. It might be thinking a bit too far, but it's like maybe a hostile environment. Like you live on, you know it. You live under my roof. It's my rules. Mm-hmm. So you do that. So you're just kind of like, can't wait to get the fuck out of here. And they go out of there, and then
it's like a slingshot once they get out.
And then you got and then of course you got the freshman 15 right away, or what is it, freshman 30? 30 now. It's not 15, 30 now. We're upping it. Inflation's is great. It's not freshman 15. It's the freshman 30 now. But yeah, I think so. It's kind of more like that. They think they're like that age group. You think you're invincible.
Well, what do you think?
Not all of them, but most.
What do you think people like kids graduating high school? What should they do if they don't know what they want to do, like, for the rest of their life? They might have, like, an idea, like, oh, maybe want to do this. I don't know. Maybe want to do that. Like,
I think the best... There's different ways. One way, I think, could be, like, say you wanted to be, I don't know, work as a... whatever it is. In the doctor space or whatever, just get a job. Try to get a job that are just like as a assistant, like a secretary, you know, something like behind the desk, so you can have a little bit of exposure to it, and then you're gonna see actually how their lifestyle is. You're gonna be like, oh, I don't want this. Or another thing that people are telling you, like, oh, you gotta go do this or don't do that or something. Go work maybe a day or go work like a month, you know, at least. In what they work in, and then you'd be like, oh no, I don't like this, or this is shitty. Like, you kind of put yourself in those person's shoes, and you're like, oh no, it's because you got to do this. But I don't know. I don't know if I kind of like really explained it. It's kind of weird. Like,
well, for some jobs, it's difficult to like get a job like kind of in the field. Like, if they want to be like a nurse or something. It's hard for them to, because I have like experience with my girlfriend. It's like it's hard for them to get anything besides like a secretary, and even being a secretary, you're just behind the desk all day. You don't even get to see what goes on behind the scenes. I guess there could be some exceptions. It's just that I think they're like, oh no, you got to do this, and it sounds like sunshine and rainbows, and then you actually get there and you're just like, this isn't even what I want. Yeah, I think. Well, there's certain stuff like if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, like stuff like that, you have to go to college to get your stuff. your education, your degree, and so you can actually be able to practice in that field.
But then we go back to it again. They graduate from the doctor, so now it's like, bitch, I'm the doctor. Everything I say is like right, and a lot of them stopped evolving and stopped educating. Not all of them, a lot of people, I think.
Well,
because what happens, just it's like, we'll say it's just like us. Market videography and stuff like that. Don't you run into the people that don't want to evolve with it?
Yeah.
Exactly, and I think it's kind of like that.
But it's been those people too that they're not just like recently graduated or recently into the industry. No, they've been in the industry for like 5-10 years or whatever, and then they still don't want to evolve with the times and keep going with the new stuff. So that like evolving problem, I don't think is just like a new person into like an industry problem. I think it's just like,
oh no, I'm talking about the person, like the older person that's in the industry for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, like okay, you're like, say you're a doctor, okay, you've been a doctor for 15-20 years, but then there's other stuff coming up, like right now, COVID, it kind of exposed a lot of the doctors that they thought they were doing stuff right, and it wasn't.
Yeah, well, you got to just keep on top of the new stuff coming out. Like, keep educating yourself on. I guess it just depends on each profession, because it's different for each thing. Because I know for like medical profession, it's like a requirement that like you gotta keep going on your education. Even for teachers, you gotta keep going to like new trainings or stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just interesting. I'm just fucking thinking, but it's just interesting how it is. Like, they should, but a lot of them don't, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Well, my experience, because like when I graduated high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought I knew what I wanted to do, but I had no idea. So like for me, luckily due to like getting scholarships and stuff, I didn't have to like really pay much for school, if anything at all. But me going to school like let me kind of discover like more who I am and what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like this time, because another thing is like I also like moved away from home in like a completely new city, new everything, like surroundings. So I kind of was forced to like actually like evaluate myself, like, do I actually like what I'm doing? Do I actually like what I'm learning?
But it takes a lot of balls, I think, to do that. I don't think you're just like want to wake up one morning and be like, okay, let's get the checklist, let's evaluate how I'm doing.
Oh yeah, it's not fucking easy.
It's not gonna happen. Just like you're on the run that you've been the last 2 years. You had to get the notepad out and evaluate your health.
Yeah.
So it's like it takes a lot of balls, because you're just like, fuck, the mirror's that way. Let me just walk around this way around the kitchen, so I don't have to run through it or like go through it.
Yeah.
It's shit like that, I think.
Mm-hmm. But then at the time I was like, first of all, like I didn't have to pay for like college really, so I didn't have to worry about having that fucking debt behind me, always like creeping up on me.
But then you got scholarships because you probably put in the work when you were at school, right? To get scholarships, no?
Yeah.
It wasn't just fucking like
applied for scholarships, got the scholarships. Shout out to Kristen Miller out there. She was one of the gear advisors, and every day she'd be like, "Did you fill out your scholarships? Did you fill out your scholarships?" That if you haven't filled out scholarships, guys, you gotta get on that shit.
It's fucking coming soon.
But yeah, like that whole first year, I thought I wanted to be a business major. Turns out I didn't want to do that. So then I had the opportunity to just try different classes, try different like industry type classes, like just to see what I wanted, what I was interested in. And then finally I found something, and that stuck, and just took off and ran with that.
No, that's good.
That could be an option for people, like if they're not gonna go like too into debt, you can go to like college, like to
you like their basics and stuff like that, or are you saying, or like what?
No, it's like figure out who you are, because that's a big thing of like that. I feel like of what you want to do is like figuring out who you are first, because in high school you're with these cliques with with the people you think are your friends and stuff like that, and then it's not until like you really like go away, like isolate yourself, evaluate yourself, that you actually figure out who you are.
But then you got to leave everything. You got to leave your whole identity, because that's who you've been your whole life. Like with your friends, the party, the being by yourself. Well, and it goes back to like the same thing. It's like
if you want to grow as a person, you got to be in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to the show, I'm pretty sure you want to grow as a person. You don't want to stay stagnant. If in a year from now you look back at yourself and like that person like doesn't embarrass you, then
you ain't doing shit.
You ain't doing any shit.
Yeah. You ain't doing shit. And not just like physically, like it's mentally, financially, spiritually. If you're spiritual, like everything. It's not just one thing, I think.
Or if people really don't want to go to school, then don't go to school. Start working right away. You don't have to go to school to be able to like know what you want to do or to prosper.
You don't need that. It's just I don't know, just something different.
Yeah.
What do you think? And then what do you think about this whole Elon Musk, Eric, with Twitter? How's that?
Well, he bought Twitter, right? Bought it for
some pocket change, huh?
Pocket change, $44 billion.
How many zeros is billion? Fuck, put him on the spot.
Fuck, 9?
9, yeah.
9 zeros. That's quite a bit. That comes out to $54.20 per share.
But if you think about that, though, like, because you know how the whole deal was going on with the investors that they didn't want to buy, or the board and all that stuff, but
so they didn't want to sell it, and then they ended up selling it
because they have to sell it, because it's like they have to present that to the investors. The investors are like the people that have the stock. And he was paying, I believe, it was 20%. He paid 20% more than what they already were. So their end game for the investors is to make profit. So you're already making 20% profit. So if you think about it, you were there to make profit. So like, you're making profit. Give me the money. Run. You know.
But the board
didn't want it.
because they didn't want the richest man in the world to have that kind of power over like his own social media network, I guess.
What problem do you see with censorship in that? Because, you know, have you heard about like him talking about it? He wants pretty much like, it would be almost like he believes nobody should be like censored.
Free speech,
Wild West. Mm-hmm. So like, what do you think about that? Do you think that's good?
In a way, it's good. In a way, it's not so good. Because like Twitter already was censoring some stuff, but not like the bad stuff. You know what I mean?
And then who takes what's good and bad? That's what the fucking problem was.
Yeah, that's the problem. Because Donald Trump was he was like banned from Twitter, but then you go scroll down and then they have Al Qaeda. You got kiddie porn and all that shit. Like, yeah, they're censoring the wrong stuff.
And that's what I'm saying. Who decides what's fucking good and bad? That's the problems.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know how their whole system works. Maybe they got like a team of people who go through it, or if it's just like automation. I have no idea. But they need to like hopefully get that figured out.
There's just millions of tweets, so it is kind of hard just to have a person just sit here and go through it all, read it all, like. And then usually if you have somebody reading they're going to be reading some bad shit. So how is that their health mentally going to be, doing that for them?
Yeah, that's true. Didn't even think about that.
Yeah, but
just seeing all that bad shit going on.
What do you think? What do you think Elon's next step is? He has this. He can go to space. He has SpaceX, Tesla.
He has his
own company,
his own Wi-Fi.
His own Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's drilling under LA. He got this now. What was next for him? What do you think? What are the projections? Let's hear them.
I don't see that. I have no idea what his next move is. With Elon's kind of hard to tell where he's gonna go next, because like even if you think you know where he's going, you're probably wrong. Because like Tesla, for example, people think of it as like a car company. But no, it's actually like a data collecting company.
The best fucking data collecting company.
And people have no clue about that because all the driving the drivers do is sending all the data.
It's recording everything.
It's
so
recording everything
Google
and
Maps
sending
and
it.
shit was.
Yeah, and it's creating like their own like grid, really.
So like I think if they wait a couple, give them like 5-10 more years, people are gonna be like, what the fuck? Once they actually see like how much data and everything that they have, I think it's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's like Musk, he bets on the longer game. Like I feel like, I mean, it was until like not too recent, but I mean a while back when I heard that, like the data collecting, like what it all consisted of. And it's mind blowing because like now you think about it, like yes, he's making sales with cars, but he's going for the longer
For the long game.
Yeah, because I heard from a very smart guy and a very powerful guy, what he thought that would be going next, and his thoughts were that he's gonna take on, they have it's always like a competition, him, Bezos, stuff like that, kind of. Mm-hmm. Bezos, I feel like, is the one that gets more. Musk is just like, fuck, he has to have some. He has a competitive for sure, though. But the next one that he was going to go after was like a Hollywood. They got Amazon Prime. He's just going to take his whole network, like, because what is it, MGM or whatever, MGM Studios. Is it the one with the line, right?
Yeah,
that one. Bezos bought that one.
Yeah.
So that's what they're saying. His next one is this one. He has like all these other things. He got the media. Next one would be like, it's Hollywood. What fucking controls everything is Hollywood.
Hollywood, yeah.
So it's like, if you fucking get Hollywood out of the picture, he got some money to do it. So
yeah, that's true, honestly.
So I mean, it was just a like projection. I don't know, but it was from like a guy very high up the food chain, but.
Yeah. Well, like a little bit just back on the censorship stuff. Like, how do you think you can go about fixing that? Like on Twitter, like, because right now how it's all, I don't know if it, like I was saying, like I don't know if it's like automated or not, or they have like a group of team going through there, but there has to be like a new system set in place. So that they can only so they can actually censor the bad stuff, like all the Al Qaeda, the terrorists, all that stuff. But then not censor just
stupid shit.
Just stupid shit. I guess what I'm going after is
say like you're saying like violence or like what's gonna dictate. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Well, kind of. It's like. If there's like truly no censorship, then all that terrorist stuff can be up, and technically that's free speech, isn't it? Like having no censorship, some people can upload whatever they want, but then I feel like there should be limits.
There has to be some sort of moderation for sure.
Yeah,
because like obviously if there's violence or like kid porn, all that stuff, yeah, that I feel like that's completely off. Like violence, like people fucking getting killed and shit, like yeah, that should be completely off, I think.
But then like their response to that is like, it's my free speech. Like it's the First Amendment. I can say whatever I want. It's the first, but see, then that's the First Amendment in the U.S., not in other fucking countries. Al Qaeda, that's another country. That's true. Supposedly it's another country. Supposedly it's another place. We don't know. Is it? Conspiracy theories. Fuck. But I mean, no, it's hard. Like, it's hard because what do you dictate? Because yeah, it's free speech, but yeah, like those people, they're not in here. It's free speech in the U.S. Yeah. But there has to be some sort of moderation with like violence, especially violence and like kid porn and stuff like that. I feel like there's no way. There's no slap on the wrist for stuff like that. That shit has to be. Has to be censored. This has to be censored somehow. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. So, but anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. If it made you laugh, made you think a little bit about something different, just share with someone else. And I'll just leave you guys with our quote. An act of rebellion is to question.
Cool. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for everybody for checking out the new segment. We'll bring here some more soon. Maybe have some guests on here with you guys. And thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Check it out.
See you guys.
Underrated, we the underdogs,
guys.
underestimated.